In the heart of Alabama's Gulf Coast, where shrimp boats bob gently in the Gulf and seafood is a way of life, a quiet but powerful story has unfolded over the past 5 decades. It's a story of resilience, flavor, and faith of Vietnamese immigrants who found a second home on the Mobile-Tensaw Delta. I'm your host, Stu Donald. Let's head to the Delta. After the fall of Saigon in 1975, thousands of Vietnamese refugees fled their homeland, escaping war and political upheaval. Vietnamese refugees began escaping their war-torn home. From 1975 to 1992, nearly 2 million risked their lives to flee oppression and hardship after the war. This event is considered one of the largest mass exoduses of modern history. Many of the refugees escaped by boat, where many found freedom in foreign lands. But some were captured and brutally tortured, and still others never lived to see another day. Many arrived in the United States through Operation New Life and other resettlement programs. While most settled in California and Texas, a small but determined group found their way to Mobile, Alabama. Why Mobile? The answer lies in the water. The Gulf Coast shrimping industry mirrored the fishing villages many had left behind. Bayou La Batterie, just south of Mobile and famous from the movie Forrest Gump, offered a familiar rhythm: boats, nets, tides, and seafood. It was here that Vietnamese families began to rebuild their lives, bringing with them traditions, language, and a deep connection with the sea. Bayou La Batterie's Blessing of the Fleet began in 1949, a tradition rooted in Old World European fishing communities. Each spring, boats were blessed for safety and a bountiful harvest. The early ceremonies were modest: shrimp boiled for 50 cents, boat tied to docks that you could tour, and prayers offered with bayou water. Over the years, it grew in popularity, and with that came new events: seafood dinners and a Mardi Gras-style parade that, instead of floats, featured colorful decorated boats floating down the bayou. But after the arrival of Vietnamese immigrants, the event began to evolve even more. Today, the Blessing of the Fleet is a vibrant celebration of cultural fusion. The Archbishop still tosses a ceremonial wreath into the bayou, but now the festival includes Vietnamese cuisine, a gumbo cook-off, and of course, those decorated boats. Buddhist and Catholic traditions mingle, and the names of those lost at sea are read aloud in solemn remembrance. It's no longer just a local ritual. It's a symbol of unity, resilience, and of a shared heritage. And Bayou La Batterie isn't the only Gulf Coast community to add a Vietnamese flair to its Blessing of the Fleet observances. In Plaquemine Parish, Louisiana, Vietnamese shrimpers host their own version of the Blessing of the Fleet. The ceremony blends Catholic and Vietnamese traditions. Altars include bowls of eggs, fruit towers, and even baguettes from Vietnamese bakeries. Paper boats are released for luck, and offerings reflect both prosperity and daily life, creating a deeply symbolic ritual rooted in Vietnamese heritage. At Biloxi, Mississippi's Blessing of the Fleet, which was originally founded by Catholic immigrants, it's now evolved to include Vietnamese American shrimpers, especially since the 1980s. And by the 2010s, Vietnamese families were integral to the seafood industry, and their participation in the Blessing of the Fleet became a visible part of the community celebration. These contributions go beyond participation. They reshape the rituals with Vietnamese aesthetics, symbolism, and spiritual practices. The result is a rich cultural fusion that honors both Gulf Coast heritage and Vietnamese traditions. Vietnamese cuisine has left an indelible mark on Mobile's food scene. What began as home cooking in tight-knit communities has blossomed into a flavorful presence across the city. Let's take a quick tour of some of Mobile's most beloved Vietnamese restaurants. Pot of Pho on Azalea Road is a local favorite, known for its rich broths, grilled pork vermicelli, and crispy shrimp tempura. The staff is warm and the flavors are bold, a true taste of Saigon in the South. Right down the street, Pho 88, which offers authentic pho, spring rolls, and Thai-style pork ribs. It's casual, affordable, and packed with generations of culinary wisdom. Liddy Pho Vietnamese restaurant on Cottage Hill Road is cozy and welcoming. Their grilled pork skewers and pho specials are crowd pleasers, and the iced Vietnamese coffee is the perfect finish. And I absolutely love their Vietnamese sausage banh mi. And speaking of banh mi, a new restaurant that's opened up recently is the Banh Mi Cafe, which is right next door to Pot of Pho. Now, I've featured a couple of these restaurants on Delta Safari before, and I'm going to take those clips and add them on to the end of this one, so you're going to want to stick around all the way to the end. These restaurants don't just serve food, they serve stories. Stories of families who fled war, found work on shrimp boats, and now share their heritage through every bowl of noodles and every bite of a banh mi. Vietnamese cuisine has nudged Mobile toward fresher, more herb-forward cooking. Thai basil, mint, and cilantro are now staples in local kitchens. Nok chom, the tangy fish sauce-based dip, has found its way into fusion dishes, paired with Gulf shrimp or fried oysters. Even southern classics like gumbo and catfish have been reimagined with Vietnamese flair. I personally put a little bit of fish sauce in my gumbo. It's a culinary conversation between cultures, and Mobile is listening. And let's not forget the hottest fusion trend in the nation today, Viet Cajun seafood boils. When the refugees first landed on the Gulf Coast, their new neighbors invited them to crawfish boils. The newcomers tasted it and said, "Wow, this is great. Have you ever thought about making it spicy?" Boudreaux raised an eyebrow at that one. The newcomers added some of their intensely hot chilies to the pot, and all Boudreaux could say was, "Woo-wee!" Now, Viet Cajun boil shops are everywhere from Boston to Beverly Hills. Today, Vietnamese Americans are educators, entrepreneurs, and civic leaders. Their children attend local schools, their businesses line city streets, and their traditions enrich the area's identity. From the blessing of the fleet to bustling pho shops, their presence is felt and celebrated. Now, I have had the pleasure of befriending one of these Vietnamese families. The patriarch Andrew spent 2 years in a Laotian refugee camp before finally escaping the war. He landed initially in Northern California, where his strong work ethic and intelligence combined with the American dream to produce a college education. He's since moved across the country to Mobile, where he owns a number of businesses and has built an incredible family. I have felt such joy and pride as each older member of the family has earned their U.S. citizenship. I love to see America through their eyes. I've been blessed to attend the Lunar New Year celebration at their church and found it to be one of the most amazing festivals, for lack of a better word, in the area. The two deltas, 9,000 miles apart, and two cultures intertwining to add to the tapestry of Mobile's unique culture. That's America at its best. So next time you stroll through a farmer's market in Mobile or watch the shrimp boats parading on the bayou, remember the journey. From the Mekong to the Mobile Tensal, the Vietnamese American story is one of courage, flavor, and faith. And it's still unfolding. One bowl of pho, one celebration, and one shared meal at a time. Man, this place is busy. I want the grilled pork sausage banh mi. And that should do it. To go, please. Look at the size of that bowl of pho. As you could clearly see, the dining room back at Liddy Pho was litty up. I've come around the corner to a little park here in West Mobile, which is where Liddy Pho is located. It's in the area called West Mobile. In fact, it's so far in West Mobile, it's almost East Mississippi. I absolutely love banh mi. Banh mi is also known by the name Vietnamese po' boy. The French colonized Vietnam for a very long time, and they brought in the bread, which is a very European thing, and that evolved into the banh mi sandwich, which usually has pate on it, some kind of protein, anything you want, grilled chicken, fried spare ribs, whatever you want to put on there, grilled shrimp. And it will have this pickled carrot and daikon radish condiment that goes on top, and usually cilantro, fresh jalapenos. And I just love banh mi. And this one in particular is the Vietnamese grilled pork sausage. This sausage is just delicious. It's got distinctive Vietnamese spices to it that make it unlike any other sausage I've ever had. And I love it in a banh mi. So I'm going to dig in now.
Today, Mike and I ventured over to Azalea Road to try out one of the newest additions to the local food scene, Banh Mi Cafe. For those who don't know, banh mi are Vietnamese po' boys. Mike and I have both had them before. I love them. This place specializes in them, so we came by to check it out. And as you can see, it is busy and bustling. It was a packed parking lot, but we were able to slide in. We picked out our sandwiches. Then we found a nice picnic table under a shady tree and had a great lunch. But I'm sure you don't really care about the aesthetics. What you want to know is, how are the sandwiches? Well, we finna dive in. What you think?
So far, so good.
Oh, yeah. It's Banh Mi Cafe, folks, at 456 Azalea Road here in Mobile. And I can guarantee you, we will be back.
Reach down there and push that subscribe button and the like button. Just like it. At least click it one time.